Good morning. It is so beautiful here. I just woke up. Probably obvious. I found that I have this line coming through my face, but that's just how I film. It's just whatever. Whatever. It's real. The year of being real. I'm going to film I think I'm going to try to film the next 5 days for you guys. So we're going to try that. So you should be able to get some weeks worth of videos from me. I'm excited to actually fill up my queue. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. So I titled this video, Am I Weird? Because I was just told I was weird the other day. And I'm curious what you guys think. Am I weird? I don't know. Okay, we're on the move. I'm going to show you what we're going to do today, eventually, because it is a Monday and I have to work. Also, still don't have my camera, a new camera for me to film on, so I'm filming on a cell phone. So excuse me for that. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm gonna save money. I'm hoping in the next paycheck or so, I will have money to get the new camera. This is gonna be our project today. We have my deck. I love this deck. Has a lot of history to it. But it's seen some better days. So let me show you. You see, I need to look at this too. Like screws are just popping up, and I don't know. I gotta find this little star pattern. No idea where to find that. But that can hurt if you're stepping on it, But anyways, we're gonna restain it. I went out to the store and got some new stain, and yep. See again. I'm sorry. I'm on the cell phone, so it like zooms in. Let's readjust here. So yeah, it like the cell phones zoom in, and so I have to be kind of further away. It's kind of hard to do a selfie. But anyways, we're gonna stay in this deck. This is part of my weirdness, I think. I don't know. Probably. Again, we're gonna talk about it throughout the day. I have a Viking tent because I don't know. I come from a Viking heritage. I am I'm a bit of a mutt, but I'm about half Norwegian and half Swedish, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to stay with my, I don't know, my culture, be kind of fun, and it has a little bit of, I think, Celtic with it too, or maybe no, maybe not anymore, because I did have to repaint it because some kids got on it and while I wasn't here, I think they were swinging on it. They thought it was like a jungle gym or something, and they broke it. That cost $70. And nobody even told me about it. So, anyways, that was when I was building my cabin. If you haven't watched my channel before, which I think most of you that watch me now have watched my channel and seen my journey, but I lived here for 5 years. So, is that weird? Is that weird that I lived in a tent? And it was only during the summer months. During the winter months, I was in a house. So I want to give you that. It wasn't all year, because the winters here are pretty brutal. It can get down to -20, and it makes it a lot more complex to drive and stuff. And I had to drive to internet, and yeah. So and I worked in my car a lot of the time. So my job is, how I actually make money is not YouTube, it's the internet. Oh, it's designing on software. Anyways, that was part of my journey, and since then I have a nice house that I live in. I call it a cabin, but a lot of people say it's a house, not a cabin. Whatever, I don't care. I call it cabin. It's my home. I mean, that's really what I consider my primary home. I do have a place in the city as well because I have a daughter that is graduating high school in 2 years. So I need to be in the city for that. And who knows, the future, I might still have a place in the city. It's probably smart because once you get out of the city, you can't go back in because it costs too much. So it's always good, even if I rent it or something like that, it's always good to have a place in the city. So there you go. That's just a little update. I'm trying to think like what I can do here to stay in this deck because I really, really, really don't want to take this apart. You think I could just stain around it? Maybe I can move it a little bit, stain a little bit there, move it back, maybe move, I don't know. But I'm really trying not to take this down because that is a pain in the butt, especially by myself. I do need to remove, I have a bin over here that has a lot of gear in it. Got to move that, and that thing's heavy. I was thinking of moving that over to my deck at the cabin, but I don't know. Probably not. I don't know. But there's a lot of work that has to be done here before I even start staining. And I guess sweep it all. And my goal, okay, so this is Doug fir. I did not get treated because it just cost a lot, and I didn't want to spend that kind of money for just to put my tent on top. So we're kind of at its point where I don't know, what is it, 7 years, 8 years now? We're at the point where it needs, some boards need to be replaced. And I don't know, maybe I just need to replace boards at a time, but I'm just going to tell you this year that's not going to happen. I'm not just going to replace some boards randomly. I'm going to, I'll do that a different year. I don't know what the purpose of this deck is going to be. And in fact, I did recently see my tent. I have it stored somewhere, and I recently saw it, and I was debating, do I want to sell that tent? Because, I don't know. The problem was, the reason why I ended up moving out of the tent, well, I was building a cabin, but the rats. The rats is the reason why I stopped. All I had in there was a cot, towards the end. That's all I had in there was a cot, because they would destroy anything in there, and I couldn't keep anything in the tent without them like destroying it. And I mean, they ripped holes through the tent and stuff, so I just didn't, I mean, it's an expensive tent, and I didn't want to, it's expensive deck too, and now I have a cabin. I don't know if I'm going to put the tent back up, so it's like all this stuff I'm debating right now, and I could use the money. I'll be honest with you. I could use the money. So I'm debating on whether or not I want to sell it. If you're looking for a tent, let me know. It's like 200-pound tent. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, it is Monday. I said it was Monday, so I have to get to a meeting. And then I have some time during the day when it's all hot to stay in the tent. Ideally, I was thinking I was just going to come out here early in the morning at like 5 o'clock in the morning and start staining. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know. But this will be in the sun because I know this area really well. This will be in the sun by the time I'm out here staining. So it's going to be a really hot day. It gets in, when I say it's hot, it gets in the 70s here. I think it got 72 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, doesn't get too hot here, but that sun, because we're so close to it, I'm at 10,000 feet, it beats down on you, and it could be really, really hot. Anyways, I'm rambling. I'm still waking up. I'll see you guys in a bit after I have a few meetings and get on my computer and get some breakfast. So I went out there and swept off the deck, brought out all my gear. I have a lot of tents. Speaking of weird, I do get made fun of because I have a lot of tents. But you know what? I still need more. There's a tent that I'm looking at that I really want. And yeah, anyways, it's a very expensive tent. But it's a lightweight tent. It's a backpacking lightweight tent. It's about $1,000. But I need it. No, I think I have about 10 tents. Might be a little bit less now because I gave one to Madison, and I think one broke. So I don't know. So maybe I have 8 tents, but I still feel like I need them. So yeah, as I was going through all the stuff, I was just like, oh gosh, I really need to go through my gear and start like purging stuff, But yeah, later. So I am getting the deck all ready. This is my thought, is that I'm going to move my Viking tent, or my frame to my Viking tent. I'm going to move it back, stay in the first part of the deck. Right now it's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Give it a few hours to dry, then move that forward, or try to, I don't know how I'm going to work that out. I don't know how that's going to work still. I don't know. But moving that Viking A-frame is not easy, you guys. As much as I show you on a fast forward motion, it is not easy to move. And it's pretty complicated. Now, some of you are like, oh, you're going to scratch your new... you're going to scratch your deck. I don't really care. It's just to keep it alive. And if it gets scratched, so be it. That's the cool thing about that deck and that area, is that it is what it is. And, I'm giving it a little extra life. The sad part is that Kyla signed her name on the deck. Madison signed her name, and now I have to paint over it. Oh, and Rocky's footprint is on it too. But it's like all chipping away, and I need to fix it. So I'm gonna have to do something. But I am gonna end up painting those steps all over again. It's a new journey. It's a new time. The deck's gonna be used for something different. I don't quite know yet. Maybe just have my Viking tent on it, and that's just what it's gonna be used for. Is my little fort out in the wilderness. Isn't this video titled that I'm weird, or people call me weird? I have a Viking fort. Anyways, I'm going to get back outside, and I'm going to do some voiceover because it is pretty windy out there right now. It kind of comes and goes. I get these waves of wind. I'm going to do a little voiceover, and we're just going to have a little chat. Okay, let's talk about being weird. I will admit, I'm probably not the ordinary mom that you see in the suburbs. So when my kids' moms or my kids' friends meet me, they notice that I am a bit different. I also notice this amongst my friends. The things that they like are not exactly the things that I like. I enjoy their friendship, I enjoy hanging out with them, and I embrace our differences. But we do not share common experiences or hobbies. I'm an outdoor woman, and I love to be alone in the wilderness. That seems really weird for some people. In fact, I was talking to one of my friends. She's like, I cannot believe that you stay the night in the wilderness all by yourself. And I was like, yeah, I do. I like that. I like that silence. I like hearing my own thoughts. I'm a very stable, secure, both mentally and financially. I've never needed another person to help me. Not to say that I don't want people in my life. I do. I want people in my life. I don't need them, And I think that some people feel that that's kind of weird, But I would say that the friendships that I do have, that they're really good ones. And because I don't need them for anything, I want them in my life. So when my daughter approached me the other day and said, Mom, I'm told that you're weird. And I looked at her, she's like, yeah, Mom, I think you're a little weird. I was like, what? And it kind of set me back a little bit and made me really kind of think about things. And I was like, what's so weird about me? Like, honestly, I think those that don't embrace nature are the weird ones. Those that see concrete walls as their place for sanctuary, that's weird for me. I didn't get it, and I was trying to understand it. As for my individuality and my self-confidence as a person and a woman, I think that's a good thing. Yeah, I admit that probably some people find it a bit intimidating, Mostly the males feel that way in my experience. But I still feel it's good. And I'm teaching my daughters to be the same. It's a good skill to have, to be dependent on yourself. Now, I realize that the reason why I am the way that I am is because of my past experiences. And my daughters did not have the same experiences I've had. They had a very stable family and lots of love. But I tell you, my daughters are going to be strong, independent women. And in fact, I feel they already are. So when my daughter came to me and told me that I was weird, and I'm not like all the other moms, I said to her, well, you do realize that you're not like all your other friends, all the other kids. And I started to detail out all the things that was different between her and her friends. She's got a job. She's got passion. She's got a great work ethic. She's creative. And she can do anything. There's a lot of kids out there right now that are so dependent on their family and their parents to do everything for them. My kids, it's different. I'm like, you do this. This is your job. You do it. And I think that by raising them that way, they become stronger people. And I'm not, you guys, I am generalizing. There is a lot of kids out there that are strong and independent and doing their own thing. I get that. But if you handhold your kid all the time, they're always going to look for you to do stuff for them. And my kids, they're go-getters. I'm going to give you an example. My older daughter, she was looking for a job, and she did her resume, and she walked around to different restaurants and applied for a job. Just walking in the door and handing out her resume saying, "Are you hiring?" Right there's a lot of kids out there that don't have the confidence enough to walk into a restaurant and say, "Are you hiring?" Or even a store or a company or anything like that. And my kids did that. And I was so proud of her. She actually got hired the same day when she walked in. And it means a lot. That to me means a lot. And that's what I'm training my kids to do, is just to be independent, to be self-confident. And I feel it's working. And they're going to have their own story, and they're going to, just like my past experiences make who I am today, they're going to have their own experiences too. But I want them to have a really good foundation. I am very proud of my daughters, and I'm very proud of being a weird mom and possibly a weird friend too. But no, I'm not going to go to the community pool and gossip with other moms about what other moms are doing. I actually don't care. I am really not into drama. I just want to live my own life. I'm not worried about what everybody else is doing. I mostly am just worried about what's going on in my life. And that's how I live. So for those of you that watch me for a while, do you think I'm weird? I don't know, I might have asked a few times. And if you do, it's okay. I may be weird, and maybe you're weird too. Maybe you're one of those people that are just like me. I don't know. But I say let's embrace our weirdness. We don't always have to be just like everybody else. That's what makes each of us an individual, and that's how we stand out. The wind died down just for a little bit. So I am finishing the last final piece of the deck. And this one requires a little bit of brushing. With a little brush, I got this size brush and this size brush. You guys remember what I have in the corner of my deck? This one I just wasn't gonna paint over. Didn't think it was needed. So do you guys think I'm weird? Am I weird? I don't know. Leave your comments below. What makes you weird? Kind of want to know that. I think we're all weird in our own way, right? I don't know. You guys want to see what I'm painting? Show you. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get the camera to show you and paint at the same time because I'm really not at a good angle. So we're going to try it. Well, maybe I finished the last little part, like the last brush stroke. And I'll show you that. I want to thank you if you would join me on this whole adventure here today. Turns out I worked a full day. I think I worked about, I don't know, started work about 7 o'clock, I think was my first meeting. And my last meeting ended at 6. And then I came out here for a half hour and did some things, snuck out of work. Of course, while I was sneaking out of work, work was like, where are you? Where have you been? I'm like, it was 30 minutes, you guys. You can survive without me. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for joining me today. And I will see you on my next video. Bye.